You want to avoid the language and the look and feel of the licensed healthcare profession. So, don't show up in your office wearing a white lab coat with a stethoscope around your neck. That gives the wrong impression. Um, don't use the language of psychotherapy. Don't talk about depression and anxiety and phobias. And use equivalents that are not regulated words. In the licensing laws of states and provinces, the scope of practice section contains protection for the licensed healthcare professionals and gives them exclusive rights to use certain words. The problem is that some of those words have fallen down into common language and we use them carelessly. As a practitioner, you can't use them carelessly. Otherwise, they can be used to hoist you on your own petard in a courtroom by an unfriendly lawyer. For example, I had a client just recently who said, "Well, I'm depressed today." Well, by that, he did not mean that he met 7 of the 10 criteria for chronic recurrent depression of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, 5th edition of the American Psychiatric Association. He meant he was feeling sad. So long as we confine the discussion to his sadness and what I might show him to do with that, we're fine. But if I say I helped him with his depression, I've crossed a boundary, and I could get in trouble for doing that. For anyone who wants, you can go to the website of the National Guild of Hypnotists, ngh.net, and you may download for free the Code of Ethics, Standards of Practice, and Recommended Terminology of the National Guild of Hypnotists for hypnotic practice. You don't even have to be a member of the guild to use it. We freely let anyone borrow it who wants to. And this will give you word-by-word equivalences for therapeutic language in non-therapeutic terms. We don't talk about depression. We talk about sadness. We don't talk about phobias. We talk about fears. We don't talk about anxiety. We talk about worry. We don't talk about compulsions. We talk about being driven. We don't talk about addictions. We talk about regaining self-control. And if you use the non-therapeutic language, you will steer your practice into safe waters. About a dozen times a year, I hear from colleagues who have received a cease and desist order for crossing these boundaries. And almost always what we do is we help them clean up their practice so that they're not using controlled language. When you get in trouble, it's almost always because of the words that have come out of your mouth or the words you wrote down on a piece of paper that caused that.